Welcome to Wrestling Talk. This is Comic Cookie 73, and today we're doing my Royal Rumble match card predictions. Last time we did the Royal Rumble opinions. The difference is I tell you my opinion of the card, and now I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win the matches. So, I might... Here's some ground rules first. Royal Rumble, stay to the end. But that's the first ground rule. Watch it all the way to the end. The first ground rule for the predictions of the Royal Rumble matches themselves. I'm allowed to pick two winners. I'm allowed to pick two possible winners. So, because there's 30 people, since there's 30 people, you know what? I'm going to say I could pick three people. I could pick three people who I think are possibly going to win this. And if one of them is right, I predicted it right. If one of them is wrong, if all of them are wrong, I am wrong. And the normal matches, as always, I pick one winner. Or, you know what? The others work like they always do. Okay, the first match we're going to be talking about is AJ Styles versus Gunther. If AJ Styles... Wait a minute, I forgot something. AJ Styles versus the Ring General Gunther. In a match, if AJ Styles loses to the Ring General Gunther, he has to retire. I'm sorry, I had to do that twice. I had to call that moment back. But it's obvious that... Okay, I'm going to stop. The first two times it was funny, now it's overkill. Gunther's going to win. Like, Shinsuke even spoiled the ending. Maybe this doesn't happen, but it feels like AJ Styles would want to retire on the same show he debuted on, which was the Royal Rumble. His first ever WWE in-ring debut was the Royal Rumble. I'm going to say no, it happened later, but his official debut, like when he was a full-time wrestler, instead of like a half-time deal. AJ Styles' first WWE match was the Royal Rumble as a full-time wrestler. Retiring after 10 years, or a 10-year-long career in the same pay-per-view would be the way I think he would want to go out. So that's the reason why Gunther is going to win this. It's almost a given. Like the next match, Drew McIntyre defending his undisputed WWE Championship against Sami Zayn. Now, Drew McIntyre is my favorite. He's winning. I'm just going to be straight up with you. He's winning. Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre are probably going to have like a very good back and forth match, and then maybe Sami Zayn enters the Royal Rumble. Remember that for later. I'm just saying. But Drew McIntyre wins and beats Sami Zayn. I feel like Drew McIntyre ain't gonna lose the title this close to WrestleMania. He probably just gonna defend it like maybe two more times and then lose it to either Chicken Fatu or Cody Rhodes. But nonetheless, Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn going to be good. Drew McIntyre winning. The next match we're going to talk about is the Women's Royal Rumble. Who can win this? Reasonably, there's a few options, and I don't want to say they're going to do two. I don't think they're going to do two. I don't think they're going to do two-time winners in a row. So this is an option. But a lot of people say Bianca Belair, but I'm not going to say that. I'm going to look at things logically and think who might WWE want to give a title opportunity to for WrestleMania. Like, whose big moment could it be? I don't like her personally, but the person I think one of the people I think who might win the Royal Rumble is Liv Morgan. It just makes sense. Liv Morgan is the person they've been pushed, the person they pushed, the person they pushed all the way through. So it would make sense that Liv Morgan finally wins the Royal Rumble. The next person, due to my personal opinion, maybe just maybe you do Io Sky. Pulling double duty at WrestleMania as the Women's Tag Team Champions with Rhea Ripley. She has a good chance of winning the Royal Rumble, in my opinion. The next person I think could possibly win the Royal Rumble is Roxanne Perez. Another person I think that WWE wants to elevate a little bit, get out of the shadow of the tag team division with Liv Morgan. This could be the way to do it, make her win the Royal Rumble. Start focusing on the 20 years olds and the other people of the company, the younger talent, instead of, like the Charlotte Flairs, Bianca Belairs. Bianca Belair is like 35 or something. She's almost in her 40s. You have to start, not that she has to retire, but you have to start taking her out of the big main event slot, in my opinion, and giving it to Bianca Belair wouldn't do justice. So those are my 3 picks for the possible winners of the Women's Royal Rumble. The main event of the show, this is probably going to be the main event of the whole show. Don't quote me on this. They could start it off with the Men's Royal Rumble, but I don't think they would. I think they would save that to the end. So the main event, Men's Royal Rumble, most likely the Men's Royal Rumble. Who do I think is going to win? And this is not how likely I think they're going to win it. It's just whoever I put 1, 2, and 3. So, okay. The first person I think is going to win the Royal Rumble. This is going to be cheating a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Because it's technically going to... I think they're going to do a Bret Hart, Lex Luger moment between having 2 winners, Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble together as number 1. It seems more likely that would happen if they want to do Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu and just make it a triple threat match. This would be the easiest way to do that. Cody's a 3-time winner. Jacob Fatu would win his first Royal Rumble as co-winner. And it's been a while since we had a co-winner. It's been a couple of years. By a couple of years, I mean almost 2 decades, but maybe they run that back. You never know. I know that's cheating, but, I could see that happening. I'm going to say this one doesn't count if just one of them wins. I'm going to be fair. I only get it right if both of them win. If Cody Rhodes wins or Jacob Fatu wins, I don't get it right. It specifically has to be the way I said it. They both have to win, be co-winners. The next one is going to be the next possible winner, Braun Breaker. I feel like he deserves it, and that would be the easiest way to give him a title match against CM Punk again. And, it is what it is. But here, I don't think they're going to make Roman Reigns win, because Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre doesn't seem like it would be a main event of WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre doesn't seem like it would be a main event of WrestleMania, but Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu, despite not liking the fact that they'll be in the main event against Drew McIntyre, and Cody Rhodes probably winning instead of Jacob Fatu or Drew McIntyre, is probably the better choice. So that's the reason why I don't think Roman Reigns is going to win. And my third choice, remember how I told you, remember Sami Zayn later? Sami Zayn is my third pick. Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble. He loses to Drew McIntyre, enters the Royal Rumble, wins it. He enters the Royal Rumble, wins it. Because then he could challenge CM Punk at WrestleMania, while you have Cody Rhodes, Jake Fatu go after Drew McIntyre, and then you have 2 WrestleMania main events in your hands. Giving Sami Zayn that big world title win, and giving Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, and Jake Fatu the main event as well. Somehow, some way. And that is who I think is going to be the winners of the Royal Rumble and my predictions of the 2026 Royal Rumble.